What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how are we doing on this very marvelous day?
I'm doing good, man. It is a marvelous day. Happy birthday to America. We are recording this day before 4th of July. Arguably one of my favorite, well, I can't call it a weekend, one of my favorite weekends of the year, but like my favorite 2-3 day period. Been listening to Ray Charles, America the Beautiful nonstop. Happy birthday, America. How you doing, Pat?
I'm good. Can't complain. I know a lot of people have like 5-day weekends. Shout out to them. I'm not one of those people. But yeah, hope everyone's doing great. We have a lot to talk about today. Before we get into anything, though, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, FOCO. Use code Yankees Avenue for 15% off your purchase. Just do it, bro. Just do it.
Yeah, go do
Um,
it. Show some love.
topic number one, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the road trip that the Yankees recently just wrapped up. They had 3 games against the Cardinals, 3 games against the Oakland A's. And bro, I'm not gonna lie, coming into it, I feel like we should have made predictions. Because I would have looked at it and said, like, bro, going 4-2 was the absolute bare minimum. I would have expected 5-1. The 6 game stretch against two awful teams. Sure, you had the perfect game coming out of it, but going 3-3 against the Oakland A's and the St. Louis Cardinals, I'm viewing this road trip as a failure. Just the fact that you lost the series to the Cardinals, I consider that disgraceful. And bro, the fact that you even lost a game to the Oakland A's, that's disgraceful as well. 3-3 isn't the worst thing in the world, but I'm definitely viewing it as a failure for this road trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's not detrimental. It would have been nice if they did better. They're a game and a half up in a wild card spot right now, so they didn't really lose much ground. Didn't gain any though either, and yeah, that's an issue. The main problem here is in this entire road trip was losing that first game in Oakland. There's no excuse not to have swept that A's team, and we thought the perfect game would have, united the squad a little bit, got us back on our feet. You win the next one, follow up game was real good. You scored 11 runs, or 10 runs rather, was looking nice. And then you go into St. Louis, man, and you have that doubleheader. That first game was ugly. We'll talk about Severino and his another implosion in a little bit. But yeah, man, dropping 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals, who, I understand they may not be as bad as the record is. They have some names on there. Bottom line is, though, they're a 34 or 35 and 47 team. And that's a team that you should beat. I was hoping for at least 4-2. You end up going 3-3. It sucks. Not the end of the world, but definitely should have done better for sure.
Yeah, but also I'm looking at it and it's like, do you have listen, I'm looking at the current state of the Yankees and I'm trying to find like some few bright spots that we can look at and be like, oh, I'm confident in that moving forward. The only bright spots I'm really taking away from this road trip are one, Volpe, right? And two, I don't know. I think it's really just Volpe as being like the what I'm taking away from the road trip is being like, wow, that kind of impressed me, even though the Yankees didn't play too great.
Yeah, and also outside of Severino, the pitching was good once again. Now, speaking of Volpe, yeah, he's been great, dude. That decision to have him bunt when he's one of your hottest hitters, so much so that where you move him up to the 6 hole, and then you have him bunt in the top of the 7th, where you're down by 2 runs, there's a runner on. I mean, the way Volpe's been swinging the bat lately, you just hope the dude may run into a 2-run homer or even just get on base, whatever it is. They decide to have him push bunt. He of course gets out because what is a bunt? It's a free out. That was silly. Wasn't a fan of that move, but yeah, man. I mean, I'm not going to put too much stock into this whole thing because in the end, we didn't lose ground. We are getting Rodon back. I really am just focused on now. You're back at home. Finish the first half strong with a playoff spot intact. Hopefully, I'm aiming for by the end of the first half, which we just have 1 week left. Time has absolutely flown by. Try to get to 10 games over 500. Try to get to 10 games over because right now you're 46 and 38. You have 4 games of the Orioles, 3 games of the Cubs to wrap up the first half. Finish up 10 games over in a playoff spot, knowing all that with all the shit we've been through, especially without Judge. Grand scheme of things, like blanket statement, I would take that as a W. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I'm actually really excited for that Cubs series.
Yeah.
I hope I don't know how the matchups line up. I really hope Marcus Stroman pitches in the Bronx, bro. I don't know if anybody remembers, but yo, me and Marcus Stroman, not boys. He said I have like I live a sad, pathetic life or something. So I'm hoping he does pitch this weekend against the Yankees and gets absolutely shelled because
Was that
he's a
after the
bum.
Volpe thing?
Yeah,
Yeah. I just naturally never been a fan of Marcus Stroman.
he's such a
One of
loser,
my
bro.
fonder Brian Cashman moments was 2019 when we were in talks or like there was suggested that we should go out and get Stroman, and Cashman responded saying he'd be pitching in our bullpen right now which we actually probably could have ended up using him on that team
We
because
could have. Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
technically ended up using a bullpen game, I believe, in the playoffs that
We
year with
did.
Chad Green opening. But I thought that was funny. And Stroman's been butthurt ever since, hates the Yankees, all that crap. And
Bro, he hates the world.
yeah,
Like that,
he
but that's the thing.
preaches like positivity all the time. But the way he goes about it is the most negative format ever. So it's quite hypocritical. It's funny.
Yeah. So I do hope he pitches this weekend, but at the end of the episode, we will be announcing a ticket giveaway for that Cubs series. So that's gonna be fun. Bro, this is kind of a big homestand. We'll talk about it a little bit more
Yeah.
a little bit later, but I'm looking forward to it. Topic number 2, let's jump right into that. I mean, we're talking about the road trip. One guy who on the flip side of things, who didn't have a great road trip was Luis Severino. He had another putrid start against the Cardinals. His season ERA is now 6.3. I saw him being interviewed after the game, and he's kind of just like he seems baffled, but also at the same time, like I think they asked him how he was feeling, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I feel good." But then afterwards, Jack Flaherty's like, "Nah, you want to hear him say he's great." I don't know if he's dealing with injury stuff. Clearly, there's something going on with Luis Severino because this is becoming a consistent trend now, right? I think his last start against the White Sox was good. He went like 6 shutout, but other than that, he's been absolutely putrid since coming back. I think we're at the point where if the playoffs started tomorrow, I don't think Severino's in your playoff rotation. And I think if this continues, bro, the Yankees are going to have no choice, especially when Nestor and Rodon are back and healthy. Sevy might have to be moved to the bullpen. And this is it's kind of a wild thing to think about because as of right now, bro, playoffs start tomorrow. I'm taking Clark Schmidt or Domingo Herman in a playoff start over Sevy easily, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think Sevy also translates a little bit better to the bullpen than the rest of the guys. So if there was a clear option to go there, it'd be him. I mean, if you have him out, if Sevy's in the pen, what is your rotation? Do you go Cole, Rodon? Obviously, that's staple. And then is your 3 Herman? Then you go Nestor 4? Because there is going to be a
Yeah.
time where you're going to need 5 starters. So that's fine. Those 4, I'm comfortable with those. But you may need to, someone suggests trading for a starting pitcher. Do you think the Yankees are at that point?
No.
Because I'm not.
No. I
I would
don't think so.
say I think you could entertain the idea, but also any assets you put towards the trade deadline, I think have to go to multiple offensive pieces. And the Yankees pitching, I still think you should add arms. I've said a lot, maybe a reliever or two. Add arms, but in the end, the Yankees pitching staff is one of the best in baseball. I don't think that's why they wouldn't win a World Series. It's going to be the offense. So any trade you have to make, multiple trades goes towards the lineup. So got to either hope Sevy figures it out, or if not, yeah, he goes to the pen, which may not even be the worst thing in the world. He won't be happy about it because, I mean, the way his walk year's going is really, really bad right now. And then going to the pen, that'd probably make it even worse. But we've seen him have his stuff translate real well to the pen before. And also, I mean, the fastball, while the velocity actually did tick down, I still think the fastball, I guess, isn't really too much of the problem. It's his breaking stuff. He doesn't have a put away pitch whatsoever. The slider's been bad. The changeup doesn't look great. But if you go to the pen, if you can just figure out one of those 2 pitches, you can be a 2-pitch pitcher. So the outlook on Sevy isn't like totally dead just because he's not a successful starter. There still is a world where he pitches well to the pen, but not looking good right now, man. Not looking good.
Well, I mean, I feel like just thinking about Sevy, I feel like I've been on that Sevy bullpen kick for a while now. I think I even said last year when he came back, I was like, "Yo, have him return, like go in the bullpen." The Yankees rotation wasn't really in that state to allow them to do so, but bro, I think it's also something that Sevy wouldn't necessarily want to do because it would plummet his value. But bro, what's his value right now?
He
Right?
doesn't have
Like
a choice.
when he becomes a free agent, he's gonna have to sign like a 1 year prove it deal anyway. So I would say like let's say he's still pitching like this after the All-Star break, bro, to start August, throw him in the bullpen. I think we've only seen good things out of Luis Severino in the bullpen. What was that, 2016 when he started off the
0.38
season
ERA.
so bad as a starting pitcher. They moved him to the bullpen. Dude becomes an absolute dog again. 2021, he came back from injury later in the season. They had him come out of the bullpen. Bro, he was untouchable out of the bullpen. So, bro, that 2021 Yankees team had such a lethal bullpen, dude. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean, you could say about most of that. That's one thing that's been pretty consistent with this core is the bullpen has always been pretty locked down solid.
but yeah,
Now,
I do think that Sevy he would suit very, very well in the pen.
yeah. Now, what's weird though is, it's not like Sevy was bad last year at all. This isn't like an ongoing thing. The issue was always, of course, he can't stay on the field, but when he was on the field, he was performing. 7-3 last year in 19 starts, 3.18 ERA, had a whip, and even 1.0 whip. He was good. He was real good. Just so far this year, man. 6.30 in 8 starts. That's not good. 1.65 whip. There's still a world where he turns it around. I would probably say give him through like the middle to end of August and then make your decision clear by start of September. Because then if you need to put him in the pen, you have a whole month to kind of get him acclimated to that. But
Do you think he's
I don't.
hurt?
No, no, he's throwing weird, man. Like it doesn't look. Once again, I'm not a scout, so I don't want to go too into the mechanics of things. But his motion looks off than what it used to be. His stride doesn't look as long. He doesn't look as fluent. He doesn't look like Sevy. But he says he's fine. And when a player says he's fine, I'm very strict about that. Like I take his word for it. You're fine. All right. Then I'm just gonna assume you suck then.
Yeah, but what is he supposed to say?
I mean, I guess, but maybe
Like,
in
would he
Sevy's case
come
it's
out and
different
say, "Oh,
because
I'm
he's had
dealing with
so
something"?
much. I guess Sevy's different because he's had so much injury shit. He's probably very frustrated. We know he's frustrated with it, but yeah, no, I assume he's healthy.
Bro, like I'm kind of putting Sevy on the same page as DJ, where it's like dealing with health issues. We're assuming that they're healthy and we're just not seeing the performance. But I think like there's got to be like some injury issues, and even if they're, I think I'm pissed off either way, right? Because if they're dealing with injury stuff, it's like, bro, like just be healthy for once. And if it's not injury stuff, it's like, bro, you're healthy now, perform. So it's kind of
Yeah.
just like a lose lose for both of those guys. But I feel like they're in very similar spots.
At least with DJ though, well, this is a good thing, but you could make it make sense with the age factor. He's getting up there, just losing a little bit of bat speed maybe. But with Sevy, it's not like post Tommy John, he's just all out of whack. Post Tommy John last year and he was good. So whether it's the injury he had earlier this year that is messing him up or whatever it is, it's just his pitches aren't good, man. Like it's like once like I said, the slider, the changeup, there's nothing there really besides the fastball. And even that, well, it doesn't look terrible anymore. That's not 2018, 2019, even last year's Sevy fastball.
Bro, he's so gone after the season. Like so gone.
We'll see. Things can change very quickly, dude. I mean, he could have 2 or 3 really good
No.
starts in a row. I think
But
it's more
dude,
so the reason you don't bring Sevy back is because like that was known even before these bad starts. Like you go off of
yeah.
the injury history. Now it's because this is a whole different animal. Now that's why it's weird because he's not performing.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying, bro. Even if he does go on a 2-3 start stretch, it doesn't change anything. Like
Sure.
he's so
I
gone.
just mean like the nuance in which we talk about Luis Severino. Like in terms of just him being on the Yankees this year, we might be feeling fine about him in a month. Who knows? Like once again, there is a world where Sevy figures it out. Just as of right now, July 3rd, postseason starts tomorrow. I don't know if he's getting a start.
I don't know if he does figure it out that quickly. He could. I just don't know if he does.
Which is why it sucks too, because he was coming off the best start of the year against a good Rangers team where he threw like 6 shutout. Things are looking up, and then just
Well, that's why I kind of
rocked.
lost like all optimism when it comes to him. Like, kind of just like I thought that if there was going to be a turning point in his season, it was going to be that White Sox start and
Rangers.
Rangers. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep thinking whatever. Before we get into topic number 3, want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, FOCO. Use code Yankees Avenue at checkout. Save 15% off your purchase, bro. Put this on your wall, dude. Throw it on your wall. It's a beautiful piece
I
of
can't
wall
believe you
art.
still got the tag on there. The
Okay,
disrespect.
no,
And I've seen
no.
that on your wall before too. I've seen on your wall.
Okay,
You leave tags on your wall art.
okay. Let me say that we have this conversation all the time. I like leaving the tags on stuff, like especially if like let's say I buy a shirt today and I don't wear it like for like 3 months. I'm leaving the tag on until I wear it, bro.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, that makes a little more sense. That makes a little
but
more sense. But you have
you,
technically, your wall has worn that beautiful piece of wall art, code Yankees Avenue, 15% off, which I
well,
have as
yeah.
well. It's back in Hoboken. I don't have much on me now. You guys know how much I love Foco, though. Go buy something. Pat,
Okay,
I think that's a little bit weird, to be honest.
okay. To be honest, my name's Dan Allen Rourke. Okay, let's get let's
I,
get into.
I'm not roasting you for it. I just think you should take the tag off and put it on your wall.
Okay, you know what? I'm taking the tag
Thank
off right
you.
now.
Dude, that's what we had to end
Tag's
this
gone.
segment. Code
Tag's
Yankees
gone.
Avenue, 15% off. Go get yourself something. Good work, Pat. Thank you. That's all I needed from you.
Love you, Foco.
Love you, Foco.
Um, yeah, let's get in topic number 3. Dan, let's talk about the All-Star game a little bit because the All-Star rosters were announced. There's a few snubs across the league. I mean, Wander Franco is an All-Star. That's kind of a big one that's going around. But the Yankees only have 2 guys. Their fewest amount of All-Stars since 2013. Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole were the only guys named. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I don't think the Yankees have any All-Star snubs. I think Jeff Passan of ESPN, I'm pretty sure he threw out like Gleyber Torres as a potential snub. That's psychotic. Gleyber Torres should be nowhere near the All-Star game. If anything, bro, Rizzo is more worthy than Gleyber. But I think if you want to make a case for anybody on the Yankees being an All-Star snub, like maybe a reliever, maybe like a Clay Holmes or like
Yeah.
Michael King, I don't know, Wandy Peralta, Tommy Kahnle. But saying that, with that being said, I'm not like super disappointed. Like there's been players in years past where I'm like, yo, I can't believe they're not an all-star. I don't feel that way about anybody else on the Yankees. So I'm kind of I'm happy for Judge. I'm happy for Cole. But other than that, it's like it is what it is.
Yeah, the Glaber thing, it's a little bit far-fetched. He's having a nice year, Glaber is, but especially as of late, his numbers have fallen down. In the end, he has a 737 OPS, 248 average, 12 homers. He's been a nice piece and probably the most consistent Yankees hitter on the team so far this year. Only gripe I do have is that the replacement at second base, because you have Semyon, who's a starter, that makes sense. Behind him is Whit Merrifield. That is laughable. I think that's where more of the issue is, because he has just a 700 OPS in the year with only 2 home runs, 30 RBIs. So compare that to Gleyber. All right, that's pretty annoying. But as for Gleyber's season in its own right, not exactly like a crazy all-star caliber campaign. You mentioned him. I think the only other snub would be Clay Holmes. Shout out to my guy, Johnny Lasagna on Twitter. He brought up a good example. Emmanuel Clase, he made the All-Star team. I'm a fan of him. Good dude, obviously pretty solid pitcher. 1-5, forget the closer record, but 3.40 ERA, 39 innings pitched, only 36 strikeouts, 1.21 whip. Whereas Clay Holmes, 2.43 ERA in 33 innings pitched with 41 strikeouts, 1.17 whip. So he had the better year by far so far this year. That's about it, though. 2 All-Stars, fewest since 2013. It feels weird. I remember the first All-Star game I remember, it was the first year I started watching was 2011. Yankees had 7 All-Stars that year. I was like, damn, that's a lot. And it was sick. Oh, screw you. Well, first full season, like that was the first time I consumed probably 130 plus games. So that was a standard set for me. And now we're down at 2. But also, I don't really care. I don't watch the All-Star game. And it's not like this was the news.
You don't watch the All-Star game? I love
No,
the All-Star game.
I have it on the background.
That's
But no,
disappointing.
especially this year, dude. Now, if Cole starts it, which
Well,
that would be
Cole was
cool.
asked about starting it. I don't think the matchups are gonna line up to allow him to start. He might be able to pitch like an inning in the middle of the game. But really great quote coming out of Cole. He was asked about starting the All-Star game, and he was kind of mentioned like, oh, there's Givaldi, there's Otani, like you might not get the start. And he goes, hey, if I don't like it, I've got to pitch a little bit better. Bro,
Yeah.
every single thing that we hear from Garrett Cole, every single thing that Garrett Cole does, it just makes me realize, like, bro, without him, we're nothing. I love Garrett Cole with all my heart, and just, bro, he's adorable.
I think that without him, we're nothing only applies to Aaron Judge. But
That's
I
not
do
true.
agree.
Where would the Yankees rotation be right now if it wasn't? I think right
No,
now, no. We can't use that saying without Aaron Judge this season. We can't, bro, because he hasn't been here.
and look at where we're at. I mean, I don't
No,
think we're in the bottom dwellers, but also, hold on now. What do you
where would
mean?
we
We
be
can't use,
without
we
Garrett
can't
Cole
say,
right now?
no, he's in, it's not to the level of Aaron Judge. I reserve that statement, that respect to that statement for someone
No,
like
it is.
Judge. But
It
no, I
is.
understand what you're saying. But what are you saying about Judge? You're saying we
I'm
can't
not
say that about Judge this year? This year gives us a
you
perfect example to
you
say that.
no, I don't think that you could say like you can't say where would we be without Judge because we're already without Judge. We know where we'd be without Judge. You right now you can say, yo, where would we be without Garrett Cole?
Well, no, you say where would we be without Judge? This is where we're at, 9.5 games back in the division.
Yeah.
But I'm not arguing against the Cole thing necessarily. But the Judge
I'm
thing
not
is real.
saying we're in a good spot without Judge. Bro, you can't say where would we be without Judge? We are without Judge.
Yeah, and the answer isn't great. I think
Ex-
I'm more so confused on what you're arguing.
I'm arguing where would we be without Garrett Cole right now? And you're saying that we can't say that.
Dude, relax, motherfucker. I'm not saying we can't say that. I only say that about Judge. That we're
I'm putting
nothing
Cole.
without Aaron
I
Judge.
put in terms of value to the Yankees. I think Garrett Cole is just as valuable, if not more valuable, to the Yankees rotation than Judge is to the Yankees lineup.
Sure, but it's weighted on an entirely different scale. I mean, one pitches 33 times a year. The other would play 150 if he were healthy.
Yeah,
So
but
just
one
from
is
position
offense,
player versus
one's pitching.
right. So that's what I'm saying. By default, Judge kind of has more at stake there in this argument, is my opinion. I think they're close. I would put Judge here. I'd put Cole a little smidge right under.
but it's apples and oranges. Like
Not
you're
necessarily. And mainly
comparing.
because in terms of what they do and how good they are at what they do, sure, they're in equivalent areas. But because of the fact that Judge is a position player, Cole's a pitcher, I think it makes it much different. And the Yankees record technically shows that. I mean, what they are with him, what they are without him. Why are you looking at the camera like I'm crazy? Why am I crazy, Pat? Tell me why I'm crazy.
You know, you're not. It's not crazy. It's just I don't understand what the argument is
I
at
don't
all.
know if there is an argument. I just didn't necessarily understand the logic.
The logic is that without Garrett Cole, the Yankees are in a very, very, very bad spot.
I don't think they're sure. No, obviously. That's monkey talk, of course. I'm saying equivalent though, Judge and Cole, I don't put them as equivalents. I think Judge is a tier above. Importance to the Yankee roster.
But that's semantics. Both of them are two of the most valuable players in baseball, and without them, the Yankees are fucked. The Yankees are not winning a World Series without either Garrett Cole or Aaron Judge, and that's a fact.
I'm with you there. I don't think they're gonna win them with them right now. Until there's a big
That's
trade
actually,
deadline.
bro, that's actually something that we should have talked about because I tweeted out yesterday that like I want the Yankees to rebuild, and I think that that's kind of like a Jurassic way of putting it. I think I probably should have said like retool, but I
I'm
don't
going
know,
for
dude.
rebuild, bro. Somebody had a great tweet yesterday. It was like people couldn't take 2 months of Volpe struggling and they want a full on rebuild. I don't know if everybody understands they see what happens to the Astros, see what happens to the Orioles.
But
Do you
that's why
understand
I'm
the
not
measure you
talking
got
a
to go through?
rebuild, bro. I'm
Not you,
a
just in
Yankee
general,
rebuild
because
isn't that. I'm talking a retool. Like, bro, give me like a 2016. Like, yo, trade off some dead weight at the deadline, bro. DJ gone, Glaber gone. Who else wants to go? I don't know, but you
sure,
get what I mean. Get rid of
yeah,
like some dead weight, bring in some fresh faces, bro. You call up Peraza, you call up Florial, you call up like some other like random young dudes, add some fresh faces to the lineup. Just feel good about it. Let's like jump right into topic 4. Thinking about this 4-game series against the Orioles starting tonight. Kind of a big deal, bro. Just because the Orioles are a great team this season. The Yankees are 4 games behind them, just in terms of like wild card division, whatever. I think that this is a really big series because, like we said, coming off this 6-game road trip where the Yankees are 3-3, it got me thinking. I'm like, yo, even bro, I'm tired of being like, oh, it's because we don't have Aaron Judge. Fuck it, right? Like we're at the point where we don't know when Judge is coming back. This is the New York Yankees. I don't want to hear any more excuses. Oh my God, they're missing the best player in baseball. Whatever, dude. Like you gotta sit back, buckle up, do what you got to do. And it just feels like they're not really doing that right now. So I think that hopefully you can use this as like a statement series against one of the top teams in your division, against one of the top teams in the American League, and hopefully win it. But at the very minimum, bro, like you got to split the series.
yeah. First of all, I hate 4 game series. I feel like they always automatically end up in a split. But yeah, no, if you could take 3 out of 4, that'd be huge. Of course, a sweep would be ideal. That's not going to happen. But yeah, man. I mean, the Rays, they're far away. We're 9.5 back of them. I've put it out there that I'm pretty much easing my hopes of taking the division, though of course it's still possible. The Orioles, though, they're still well within reach. Only 4 back of them. And yeah, man. I mean, while the wild card standings, they don't like if we were just fighting for a wild card spot right here, which I guess is what we're technically doing. How much does remind me actually of the format here? How much does home field advantage or just having the top seed matter? Because if you're the 1 out of the 3, is it just that you get all 3 games at your park, right?
No, I don't think we'd get if you're a wild card team. I don't think you get home in the wild card series, do you?
Yeah, well,
Unless you're the
for the
top.
wild card series, yeah, you
I
get it
don't think you do.
because it's remember
Because it's only 2 teams that don't have to play the wild card series. So then it's probably the like
you
let's say it would be the Twins that get home field advantage in the wild card series, and then the Orioles. So it's the top wild card team, and then the other division winner. If the season ended today, correct me if I'm wrong, the Yankees would be playing the Twins in the wild card series, or does it go by record once the season's over? Does division matter? Like, how does it work?
so the worst
Because
division.
right now we're the worst wild card, technically, right? And then the Twins are technically going to be the worst division winner. So do we play them?
No, because if we're the worst seed, the top seed should play the worst seed,
Yeah, but
right?
wouldn't the
Advantage.
Twins be the top seed just because they won the division?
They'd be over the wild card. Yeah, the division winner definitely.
Okay, so then we'd play them.
Yeah, I guess so. Which
That would,
that's
bro.
crazy,
That
dude. They're 42 and 43. By the way, do you see how bad Correa's doing?
yeah,
Like so bad. His
yeah. I'm
OPS is
not
below
super
700.
worried though.
Oh well. I
God,
just
bro, guys like that, like if you see guys like Correa having a down year, like I don't know, like a Vlad or something, like I'm not really taking too much stock into it because like we've seen so much success from these guys in the past, where it's kind of just like it's not like an Alec Manoah thing where it's like a
I
1 year and you
I
fall off.
agree. Any other player though, I'm with you. I just think Correa coming off all the injury stuff. It's interesting that
Sure, it's a bad look for
yeah,
sure.
right. So,
Um,
but
but
yeah,
yeah,
I
no,
good.
big series, really, really big series, and the Yankees need to show up in a big way. And yeah, kind of just like going back to what I was like talking about right before about like the whole like needing fresh faces. Like, bro, the Yankees right now, like they just feel really like boring and bland, and like it's the same like dead weight. Like, oh, Rizzo, Stanton, Glaber, like it just feels like the same flow of players that haven't been working out in the past few years. So I would love to see the Yankees go into the trade deadline this year and do something. Like, bro, give me some sort of like life injected to this team because we saw what it did in 2016. Granted, 7 years ago, completely different team, but I'm talking more so like just that philosophy of just like injecting some young life. Like I know I think Peraz is dealing with some health issues, but I'd love to see him up and just taking some consistent at bats because we're at the point now where it feels like we're getting like 3 times a week having a position player on the mound. Like, bro, Josh
Yeah.
Donaldson throwing innings against the St. Louis Cardinals. I know everyone's being like, "Oh, ho ho, ha ha ha! It's a nice weight off our shoulders going into game two. This is so funny." Josh Donaldson has a career 0
I'd
ERA.
even post
Once
it, dude.
again, I hate that, bro. Like I'm so tired of this every single time. Everyone's like, "Oh, what do you want them to do? Sit in the dugout and sulk?" I hated the fact that we saw Harrison Bader on the top step in the dugout, absolutely laughing his ass off, screaming at Donaldson in an 11-1 game, bro. Oh, by the way, like this is nothing to do with the situation. Isn't it funny how Bader got a standing ovation by Cardinal fans?
They're like
Kind of
that, man.
wild.
I read a whole article on it, and he was saying, man, they don't boo anybody, no matter what happens. They won't boo you. They're
Crazy.
so appreciative. And I was saying to my boy, I'm like, dude, I wouldn't want that. Imagine, I mean, not the ovation that all that stuff's cool. We saw with Carpenter last year. I'm not talking about that, but just in general, they don't really boo all that much, and the fans are so. I mean, they'll call like Yankee fans homers sometimes, more so me. But dude, Cardinals fans, I couldn't imagine living that life the way they do. They're the opposite of us apparently.
I
So I
think you would fit in though.
no. Because then it's like, all right, Josh Donaldson goes 0 for 4. They like cheer him and want to buy him like a soda and a candy or something. No, I don't live that life. I criticize the Yankees quite often, every day if you think about it. But I also am rational.
That's a very Michael K like statement.
Yeah, it is.
That's a
How
yeah.
am I a Yankee boy?
Uh
I criticize the Yankees every day.
but yeah, let's get into topic number 5. Oh wait, actually, before we wrap up that Orioles topic, what do you think is gonna happen? You think they're gonna split?
Yeah, I think they're going to split. Also,
I
I'll say
think so
this
too.
too: the wild card makes it's such a less stressful situation. This is our first time really experiencing the wild card with last year in the division, so we didn't have to worry about all that much. But the 3 team in each league wild card, it
Yeah.
makes the summer a lot less stressful because that's a big part of why I just assume the Yankees are going to make the playoffs. So I'm quickly able to get off over a loss like yesterday in a way because it's such, dude. There's so many teams now that get it.
Yes, but it depends how you view it, right? Like we're at the point where it feels like that, but if the Yankees make the wild card series and lose, like I'm not even viewing that as making the playoffs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No,
Like
I mean I hear you.
technically, yeah, but it still means nothing to me. So I guess we'll
Yeah.
see.
Better than a
Because if
one game elimination wild card.
I will say if they make the wild card series and they have to match up against the Orioles and play in Camden, bro, I that's a horrible scenario. I wouldn't want to play the Orioles in a wild card series at all.
No, it wouldn't be ideal, but Cole, Rodon, perfect game from on.
Shout out to Rodon. Shout out to Rodon.
Yeah.
I'm
We're gonna
actually
talk
happy
about him
he
a lot
hasn't had
next
a
week
setback.
or Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. Topic number 5. Let's talk about the All Star jerseys real quick. I saw pop it on the screen. Poop. I saw a lot of people pissing on them for no reason at all. And I'm gonna be honest. I think that this is one of the best All Star jerseys in quite a few years. I thought the ones last year for LA were kind of weak. The ones the year before for Colorado, bro, absolutely atrocious. And I don't know. I like the vibes that they got going on. You got like the wave action. You got like the Seattle Mariner color schemes. Could they have been better? Sure. But I think overall they're probably like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. I don't hate them.
Yeah, I think they actually look pretty nice. I like the design. Only thing is the material of the shirt or the jersey looks kind of cheap to me. I'm sure it's obviously not, but just the way it looks comes off that way. I like the colors. I think it's cool. It's in Seattle. I miss when they would just wear, and I didn't feel this way at the time. I actually wanted it to be the way it is now, but I do miss when they would all just wear their own individual jerseys. I thought it looked way better. And then the
I
home run derby, you kind of all wear the festivity jerseys, all the merch, whatever. But yeah, no, they're nice. I don't love them.
It's the opposite
Yes.
now, right? Like they wear their team uniforms for the home run derby, and then they wear the All Star stuff
Do
for
they
the All
ever
Star
wear the
game.
team? Is that what they
I
do?
think they wear the
Yeah.
team for the home run derby. I'm
That
almost
I
I
do
could be
watch.
wrong, but
I really take the All-Star break, bro, to like I don't watch much baseball during the All-Star break. And also the All-Star game never does much for me to begin with. Home run
I
derby's
like
cool.
it. I think it's a lot of fun. The All Star game is one of my favorite things. Like, bro, last year was kind of like the Yankee show, so it was a little bit different. But I love the All Star game. I think it's awesome. I love, bro. I love everything about it. I love watching the All Star red carpet where it's like they're all like pulling up and in their like nicest outfits, and you're seeing like the difference between like what Acuna pulls up in and what like I don't
Yeah.
know who's like a rent like Clay Holmes. Like you know what I mean? It's just
Right.
it's a lot of fun. I'm
That
a big
stuff
fan.
doesn't do it for me, but I understand what you mean. I like the idea of the week. It's a like a celebration of baseball. I always love that. Same with
Well, it's
that's the one thing I'm a big fan of with Hall of Fame week, for example. Like that's something I like. Celebration of baseball. Same here.
okay. No,
But
no, I don't feel the same way about Hall of Fame week because Hall of Fame week is about like guys who are not playing. I'm a huge fan of like appreciating current day Major League Baseball, not
yeah,
guys who retired 20 years ago. So
no.
yeah,
Whoa. You got
what?
disrespect for the veterans out there, Pat?
No, it's not. It's not disrespect. It's just I don't. Bro, I don't care about Hall of Fame week. Like let's be honest. Even when Jeter was inducted, I really didn't care. It's so boring. If you genuinely think I'm gonna sit through those Hall of Fame inductions, you're psychotic, bro. I like sorry.
I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. I was just going off what you said, but no, I don't actually love Hall of Fame week myself. That's why I was just saying the one thing I do, the idea of it, the fact that it's a celebration of baseball, I think is cool. Same with this week. I'll watch the home run derby, dude. I'll watch the home run derby. Who's even in it?
Speaking
Do
of
we
the
know?
home run derby, Pete Alonso
Is he
just
doing
announced
it?
that he's bro. I kind of think that it's disgraceful and it's a shame that coming off, bro. This is this guy's home run derby. I think Pete Alonso is one of the saddest players in Major League Baseball.
You mean it's his
And
World Series?
dude, what did I say?
This is his home run derby, but I know
Oh,
what you meant.
okay, yeah, no, same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But the fact that the Mets are in such a bad situation, bro, the Mets are one of the worst teams in baseball, performing so below expectations. And you have Pete Alonso, who's going to enter the home run derby once again and think, oh my God, like this is my World Series. It is so sad. And it's so Mets, bro. It's
It,
so Mets.
it is so Mets. That's very true. Yo, speaking of disrespecting veterans, I'm just fucking like fiddling with a Yogi Berra sign ball right now. Is that bad?
Like, yeah, you should have that in like a case or something.
I did, but I like to fiddle with it. I don't know.
Oh, I found my baseball that I threw the first pitch of, signed by Sparky Lyle. I found it. It was hiding
Very
in my
nice.
backpack. Yeah, I
Yo,
gotta like put it in a box or something.
speaking of home run derby, if Stan had the opportunity to do it and you get to decide,
No,
is he doing it? No.
no, no.
Why?
I think that it would just be dumb. Especially for a guy like Stanton, bro, who has such I don't want to say he's made of glass, but he's very injury prone.
Okay.
And I think the home run derby would be stupid.
Agreed.
I
Agreed.
would feel the same way if it was a guy like Glaber, bro. Like it's like the way I view it is I view it different than most people, right? Like my team sucks right now. I don't want to see like Glaber Torres like doing the home run derby when the Yankees are in such a bad spot. That's just the way I look at it. Like if I was a Mets fan, I'd be pissed off that Pete Alonso is going to enter the home run derby and like play like it's his World Series. I'd be annoyed by it.
I think that's valid. I do. I do.
But yeah.
All right, yo, let's get
Um
out of here. That's gonna do it for this episode. Another good one. Socials, Pat, where can they find you?
Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, at Unhinged Patrick, Instagram, at True Hennessy.
Very nice. Dan on work on Twitter. Dan on work on Instagram. Yankees Avenue on Instagram. Yankees Avenue here.
Yankees Avenue on TikTok.
Yankees Avenue on TikTok. Yes, very good. And I think
ticket
that's
giveaway.
all, bro. Happy
Follow
4th
us
of
on
July.
Twitter. Ticket giveaway. Cubs this weekend. Do
Yeah.
it. Follow us.
Word. There'll be a graphic that Pat's gonna make. It was your idea, actually. So if you want to be a man of the people,
Wow, no, that's messed up. That's messed up that you would even say that.
well, it makes me just as good a guy because I also agreed to it. I said yes. All right, fool. We'll see you guys next time. Let's go Yankees.
Her body's gold like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try forgetting, I remember. But we say we